gosh. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. It's another Monday, which means another episode of Echoes. And I am so excited that everyone could join us tonight. We got a great one set up for us tonight. I don't want to waste too much time with my talking as I normally do and get going here. So, Mark, what do we got tonight, buddy?
Sure. So thank you, Matt. Thank you for everyone being here. And of course, thank you to my wonderful players for being my wonderful players and being wonderful players. So today, of course, we're playing our Light as Rix's campaign, a heavily modified campaign that I've done a lot of adding to, a lot of writing to. Those of you that may have read through or played through the module itself, you'll notice that a lot of the things we're doing aren't in that book. Much of this is my own personal making, though I also have contributions from everybody in the party as well. As you know, a couple of names that have already come up, like Renasis, not my making, very much the making of one of my players. So this is a world that we've all collectively built. I set the base, I let my players add to it as they wanted to, and so we're playing with a bunch of that. Kaiser Doan is where we are now, but before we get into our recap, let's go ahead and do introductions. So first, of course, we have our amorphous amigo, Niko.
Greetings all, I'm Alex. I'm playing your Plasmoid Niko. A little bit of a fun little artificer spin. Let's have a good one tonight.
We also have our floral femme fatale, Jade.
Hey everyone, it's Marina here playing the Jade Fox, your druid assassin, and I'm gonna have a fun time tonight. See what things happen. I was gonna have a little stuffed animal penguin to represent, but
Boswell.
I didn't have Bozwell, so I have a little manatee instead.
Boswell the
Close
manatee, I like it.
Yeah.
It's canon now.
Boswell's now a small gif. We also, of course, have our clanking mecha Tinman.
Howdy, howdy, Dayton here, playing your gun monk. Always excited. Let's shoot our shot.
And then, of course, also with our announcements, we have the amazing Astral elf, Valen.
Whoa, what's happening? How you doing? It's Matt here. I'm playing the lovable, great Valen Yosai tonight, and I cannot wait to play. It's going to be a great episode. I'm super excited. We're going to have a great big thing. I wanted to share one thing about Valen, and I don't know if you follow on our Instagram, but recently I shared a post about the mirror folding ceremony that Valen had done. And if you have read it, I don't know if it's going to play into this episode, but it's definitely going to be a big part coming up here. So if you haven't checked it out, go check it out. It's on our Discord. It's on our Instagram. You can follow us there. I want to do a big shout out to all our partners real quick. Adams Family Gaming over on Etsy. That's etsy.com/Adams Family Gaming. There's the merch. There it is. I'm normally wearing it on our other night streams, but tonight you get Valen. Big shout out to D&D Die Hard Dice for hooking us up with some dice for our live plays on the table. Big shout out to Mythical Meats. Use DDC Live at checkout for 15% off and get all those lovely, delicious treats. I'm almost out. I got to order some more, so that's happening real soon. And big shout out to big shout out to all of our viewers. I'm going to just say that. Big shout out to all of our viewers, the best partner of all, and the most important. If you guys didn't show up here, it'd be tough getting everyone to show back up for this too. So thank you so much. Say hello to me on our Instagram. Say hello on our YouTube. Say hello on our Twitch, wherever you're watching. Put a comment. Drop a follow. And get your popcorn ready. Get some drinks ready. We're going to have a great episode. So just sit back and relax as we go through all the stress.
Yes. So to a point Matt made, we could just be sitting in a Discord call playing through ourselves. It really is you, the audience, that gets us coming back every week, putting this out, and I mean, we'd enjoy it anyway. But of course, bringing the love and knowing that there's other
yeah.
people that enjoy these stories as much as we do.
Yes.
We want to share this to be something authentic, something that, of course we enjoy, something most of us have been doing for quite some time. And we hope that you enjoy it along with us. And, if you're interested, drop in and say hi. We'd love to have you. And of course, we also have a Discord. Matt might put that link up when he gets a second.
I'll throw it up in break.
But anyway, yeah, good call. So previously on Echo of the Astral Sea, as the party shakes off the conflict they witnessed, they are approached by Boladora Elo and his retinue, Wall Guard of Tower Elo. The party deliberates for a long moment before greeting the imperious Tabaxi, noting his cane and decorated greatcoat. He invites them to someplace quieter while Jade takes the moment to slip away and share some terse words with Bozwell. The two argue before they come to an understanding. Jade holds his leash and his life in her hands, and she'll relinquish the hold when his debt is repaid. For now, his task is to sort through everyone on the ship and see if any of them have some connections or resources that might prove useful. Niko, Valen, and Tinman make their way up a freight elevator, and one of the only ways to travel between Donan and the upper part of Kaiser Dome, with Elo and his guard. They arise on the pleasant upper level next to a park. Elo leads them through the small park into the Bar Bastion. A bar with a history that often comes up in the same sentence as the Silver Liner, as it was lauded as one of his favorite places to drink. Though when Tinman thought to speak to Rowdie, the bartender, about him, the Copper Dragon didn't have much on offer. Liner stopped showing up a few years prior and hasn't seen him since. But despite frequenting here, Rowdie hinted that few knew Liner's true business here. Elo spoke to the trio, and the four of them got caught up, with Valen being intentionally vague about the happenings on Brawl and interrupting Niko's attempts to clarify, while Tinman asked questions about Kaiser Done's recent troubles, to which Elo explained. Kaiser Dome is a funnel for the creatures that seek to invade the Great Belt. By being an anchor point for those traveling into the belt, it stops those with nefarious intentions from penetrating too deeply and harming too many people. Something the Wall Guard has been doing since Radiclax established it. A proverbial pinprick in the Astral Sea for unsavory things to drain through. The same beacon that makes this possible seems to have been inverted or turned off. It's no longer functional, and some illithids seem to have vested an interest in seeking the beacon destroyed to remove the obstacle. They've been attacking more recently, and they've been doing their best to carve up Donan, to which Niko and Tinman surmise that they are looking for something. A friend of Niko's, Canadex, had been through just 3 weeks ago after rooting around in some maintenance hatch and some resulting chaos. He told Elo it was ready, and the next part will be available in 3 weeks, before flashing Niko a pin with the Water Bearer's symbol on it. They depart from Elo and the Bar Bastion, with Niko offering to help Elo create a brace of some sort for his injured leg, which Elo claims happened when fighting an old friend, a red dragonborn named Dramax. Elo says that he'll see whatever Niko has planned, but more and smarter have tried, so his hopes aren't high. Niko also stops to speak to Rowdie, who points him to the scrapyard down the street, run by the Rowdie brothers, or the Rowdies. Niko sets off excitedly, having learned that explosions are relatively common there. Meanwhile, on the ship with Bozwell, Jade spots an odd figure standing out and staring up at her. She keeps her attention pointed but not obvious. The figure is a short metal individual wearing an odd wig and a symbol carved into its chest to mimic a necklace. It seemed to be trying to catch her attention by reflecting a light at her. When it does, it mimics a fox chasing a rabbit before putting... Oh, those are odd. That's odd. But anyway, before using its fingers to put rabbit ears behind its head. A moment later, it raced off with Jade in pursuit. Excuse me. It led her to an area of Donan that had been shut down for maintenance due to the damage it had received, and lured her down a few alleyways. When she caught up, the figure was scrawling something on the wall. It finished and turned around, and Jade was, much to my personal delight as the DM, stunned to realize it wasn't Sable. It was instead someone she hadn't expected to see here, Yaroslav, someone who means a great deal to Jade. He begins by answering a few questions she hadn't asked and clarifies that when shot by Tinman, he'd been unshackled and was only bound to this vessel for a short while. Jade is, of course, surprised to hear he'd been shot at all, but he presses on. Elodra was sent for Jade and to retrieve the seed Jade had run away with, and he proffers her a black card with her name on it. Yarrow explains that Elodra was one of the few that argued against issuing the black card and stated that she might yet be swayed to help them. Jade stoically watched and listened, arms crossed from a distance, as he also informed her that Marana was somehow mobile and was on Brawl when he was shot by Tinman. He continued and mentioned that he was sent to get a ship, the Ela Turn, and Silhouette disappeared shortly after. Jade's mission was reported a failure. He clarifies that Elodra was sent to keep Jade away, but also that Magdalena is seeking possession of the seed and the Ela Turn. On that note, Yarrow seems to let the work slide a moment and spoke to Jade more intimately. She kindly let him speak as he pontificated about how, when he's not in a vessel's mind, when he's not in a vessel, his mind's edges blur with the astral sea, but he sought an anchor in her. A simple phrase, a simple truth, that at the end of the day, no matter how many dreams may be manipulated, she would still be the one constant he could trust. They embraced deeply, and as Jade cried, her tears fell on an empty husk of an autognome clutched tightly. A voice spoke in her ear, ephemeral, offering her condolences and stating that a queen must have a heart. Jade inquires about lovers, to which Ephemera shies away and chides Jade not to make assumptions, as there's still much about each other they do not know. As we pick up, Jade, you stand in the alleyway with the inert autognome on the ground in front of you. What would you like to do?
Jade wants to take the autognome back to the ship, preferably covered in some sort of something. Do I see anything around me that I could use as cover, maybe like a cloth or something?
Considering the area was recently being fixed up or attempting to, there's no small amount of tarps or tarpaulins nearby. You could easily find one.
Yeah, Jade's gonna find a tarp and, I guess put him into a sack. How heavy is he?
So autognomes are usually about, I believe it's 20 to 60 pounds. This one is probably about 35.
Okay.
Sort of on the lighter side.
I'm able to take him back to the ship. All right.
Okay. As you're... What's that?
Don't anyone get any smart ideas about Tinman?
Tinman punch contest, let's go.
As you return, Jade, you see that many of the people that were on the ship are now being sort of led off and down the stairs, where your ship is docked. They are gathering sort of at the bottom where people come and go up to their ships, and sort of a open waiting room, as it were. And you see Malik standing there now in a fresh uniform, sort of directing people around, and Bozwell standing next to him with a small ledger in his hand, sort of offering suggestions. What do you do on approach?
Nothing. I go on to my ship, or onto the ship.
Okay. You press past the individuals, and Bozwell notes you. Jade, if I could speak to you here in a short while, I have some interesting individuals who would like to speak with a member of the crew. Someone with authority.
Of course, Boswell. Can you allow me 10 minutes?
Take 30.
Thank you.
He falls back into working with Malik. You reach the ship, and despite the few people still working their way off, it seems quiet almost entirely for the first time in almost the last week.
Earlier on, we talked about the heart of the ship. Do I know where that is?
Niko had surmised that it was where the jammer was. Or the
Yeah,
helm,
but
rather.
Okay. Jade wants to head down there. She wants to put the autonome's body near it.
Okay. There would be an area in the very bottom, sort of the cargo hold of the ship, called the Lazaret, where random items are left. That seems just as close and a little more out of the way than the jammer helm location itself, but it seems roughly equidistant.
Jade's going to plant a couple seeds. She'll find a corner for him, and she'll put him into a corner, and she'll plant a couple seeds and mumble a couple phrases to herself. And as she does, the tarp that he's wrapped in will coil with thorns and roses and kind of glow with like a faint hue, the flowers that are on him, just to kind of, put him in a place and keep him protected, essentially. She might peek out a little hole so at least you can have, you can see his face a little bit if you squint. But it's mostly covered with foliage. You'd have to really see this or really be focusing on it to find it.
Sort of sensing your intentions, and as you reach out with your druid craft to influence the vines and whatnot, and the foliage there, you see as the wood sort of seeps out a moss that almost crawls over and starts to subsume the tarpaulin and just sort of take up the edges to make it look a little more like it belongs there.
Jade will feel satisfied with that for a minute. And she'll move a couple boxes in the way of it to really try to secret it up. And she'll drop a hellbore as well, a single one, and then she'll go back.
I would like you to make a stealth check at advantage as you're not pressed to see how well that you cover this up. Only a natural 20.
Oh my
Jade
gosh.
knows. Jade cares.
You cover it up
The
well enough.
character has your back.
Oh yeah. You cover it up well enough that if, like you said, if you didn't know what you were looking for, you never would have guessed. The body in the tarp seems to almost just be another bump on the ground in an odd ship of bumps on the ground.
Jade'll be satisfied with that for the moment.
Niko.
Yeah.
Specifically, Niko, you are running down the road. Tinman Valen, he has moved past you and is pushed past and is heading down the road to, well, Niko, the Rowdie's recycling.
I'm gonna look at Tin Man. Hey, we better catch up with him quick. I think we gotta have a little talk with him.
Last time he disappeared up, but I think he came back with some, what was that, some sonic bombs or something? Yeah, no, let's keep on him.
Yeah. And I'll keep doing the robot dance until I kind of get off the dance floor at least, and then start moving quickly. And once I get outside,
Tinman's slowly two-stepping aside.
once I get outside, I'm hey, Niko, get back here real quick, buddy.
Niko's doing the running man.
I'm shuffling.
Yeah.
How far away has Niko gone?
Probably 50 feet.
Hey, slow down. We gotta talk. Slow it down.
Oh, Gone. He's going. He's 100%. Like Yo, goblins, explosions, recycle yard. It's time to make some stuff.
All right, and as I see him start running, I'm gonna like start stretching out, really long style,
Classic.
getting ready to start to run. I'm like, Tinman, I don't know how fast you can run, but I'm getting ready to go here. What do you got in the tank?
Tinman's just like walking past him and just continuing on as he's doing this whole ritual.
All right.
Len's just mid-stretch using his starlight step to keep up.
And once I get kind of all stretched out, I'm gonna start running up to catch up to Niko.
Okay. Niko and Valen, I would like each of you to make a Constitution check for me, please. Actually, make it athletics. Sorry.
Yep. I like that.
Oh, we are so great at these. That's a 0.
I'm catching up.
That's a
How
0.
did you get a 0?
He's got a negative.
I rolled a nat 1. I have a -1 in strength.
Yeah, I'm catching up.
Bit of a slime.
I think you just like tore your slime ACL.
My
He's
pseudopod
like,
just gets stuck to the ground and I just
falls on
rip
the
it off.
ground.
Whoop, that wasn't supposed to happen.
You're Scylla. You fell in a hole in the wood.
Yep.
Yeah.
No,
He slipped through a hole.
no, his pseudopod gets stuck in a hole. I rip it off and I go, oh, I'm gonna need that. And it's too big for me to suck it back in, so he actually like goes back and has to mold it back on.
Like Play-Doh.
Yeah.
Valen, you tear
Okay.
past him as he's trying to reconstitute his arm.
Whoa. What
Can
are
I-
you doing,
can I just say
dude?
that
Where you
90%
going?
90% of what Niko does, I am expressly reminded of Osmosis Jones. Anyone remember that movie?
Mhm.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Hey, where are you going?
I always think of
So
the
where-
water. Go ahead, sorry.
Going to the recycle shop, man.
For what?
Part.
Parts for what?
We're gonna make a bionic knee for the captain guy so he can defend the place.
Exactly. Why?
Because he knows friends of mine, and I show him the water bearer and spends like this.
No.
Because I trust him.
Why do you think he needs your help?
To be honest, he doesn't, but I'm offering it anyways. Look at the man. The man could clearly handle himself. Obviously, he can't move very well, so let's see if we can help him move.
Niko, I'd like to assume you're young and not very understanding of the world. But that man we saw in there didn't need to be fixed. That man was a war vet. And I don't know how many you know, but most of them don't like to be seen as a project that need to be fixed by anyone coming around. And I'm afraid after how he showed you his sword and his explanation of it, we might inadvertently disrespect a very influential person here. So I just want to know why.
This
All right,
point,
you wanna
Tinman
be
kinda
honest?
Finally starts trotting up. He's not entirely wrong. That
No,
said, nothing
I
wrong
completely
with a good
agree.
knee now and again.
but Valen, take a look around. Did you listen to what he said? There is not enough people here. If the attacks are getting more frequent, you can see it on his face. The man wants to fight.
I want you to take a look around. He has everything he needs to fix that leg, and he chose not to. And you're going to go out here and try to create some type of device for a man who clearly is not asking for it. I'm afraid, from what I know of older vets that had gone through it, that, you know, you might be treading in the wrong direction.
Fair enough.
Tinman,
I
can I
appreciate your warning, and I leave. I keep going to the recycling shop.
Tinman
But
takes a
I'll
moment to kind of
take your warning. It's like,
stretch his
what?
back and it's kind of an
But
audible-
Valen, when I make the most badass leg and the dude whoops your ass, you can.
And as I see him run, I'm gonna turn to Tin Man and like, kind of like shake my head and like, oh, he's gotta learn.
Sure.
Well, the way I figure it is, he wants to make himself a fancy leg for the old man. He certainly can, but you're right. I think that we got something bigger for him that he could afford to have fixed. I'm awfully curious about what this little device was he was talking about that his friend left behind. I get the feeling that that thing is more concerned for the whole of this place's good than any leg.
I don't disagree, and I would like to go over and speak to House Lankin about all this. They seem to be quite safe and sturdy out here. If I'm gonna be poached up here for a little bit here, we got to figure out who's who.
Well, Tinman kind of starts backing away. In my personal experience, crazy goblins are still actually a pretty good starting spot. Start making my way after Niko.
What are these, the crazy boys? And I'm gonna just start.
Niko shouts back, "The Rowdy boys," or "the Rowdies," something like that.
Reckless attack? No, that's a barbarian.
We better get up there quick before he gets this even crazier.
Niko, on your approach, the scents of ozone and oil meet you down a simple road that cuts through every district of the upper layer of Khazar-dûm. The sound of a giggled shriek and the staccato burst of a combustion engine echo ahead. As you approach, you're greeted by a roiling wave of smoke that bursts out of a single door set in the front of a squat, single-story affair that seems to have been repaired, in chunks, a dozen times over. A real shop of Theseus, if you will. Behind the shop, and from the other side of the wall, other side of a tall wooden fence, are the jagged tops of heaped scrap and the sounds of excited giggling before another round of small rapid-fire explosions set off again to another swell of delighted laughing. A piece of singed wood attached to a frayed string rests on the front door, and in common, as well as in a rough scrawled language underneath, it reads, "Open."
I walk in. That whole, like, Kramer, Steinfeld style.
Just slide in.
Yeah.
Niko and Tinman and Valen, you do see ahead that Niko has entered the store. You're only a step behind, but he does enter before you. Niko, as you enter
Tinman
the
kind
store,
of picks up the pace, not wanting to be outside when any explosions occur.
2 steps faster. So yeah, as you enter, you're almost immediately hit with a wave of nostalgia, Niko, because these folks seem to have the same organizational tendencies that you do, in that the place is a mess. The entire place is littered with different projects and scraps, save for a couple of display cases in the very center that are very clearly, they pushed away enough stuff so that way at least a small creature or a medium creature could walk around each display. That's literally the only open floor space.
All right, looking around, can I give a quick investigation check to try and figure out, like, what piles are what? Like, similar to how I was like, oh, these are the, like, the zappy ones. And if I, like, how are they organized? See if I can figure out, you know, I want to try and deduce what these projects were or are.
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead and make an intelligence or an investigation, yeah.
How about a 22?
Yeah, 22 will do it. With a 22, you look around and some of the metals are colors you don't recognize. Some of the devices shift or are in angles or orientations that are foreign to you. Uh, Aside from that, one pile seems to be mundane items. You see like a couple of stopwatches sitting on the ground. There's a broken sword off to the side, a decently well maintained rapier sitting on top. A couple of the other ones, not so much. One of them seems to just be torn apart devices with wires sticking here and there. But the generally whatever is in the store now seems to be what they're actively picking through.
Yeah. Are they in like in the room at the moment?
You do not
Like,
see
are the
any
Rowdies?
other individual. The only
Okay.
movement you actually see right now is there's a brown cape with frayed edges that's up on in one of the displays. It's
Okay.
sort of hung up and it's gently billowing.
Okay. Yeah, I just kind of continue to look around at the projects, looking into my head, just mapping out, looking for like pneumatics, hinges, things that can flex. And essentially, at this point, I'm going to summon my armor, but beside me. So like
Mhm.
it's standing there and kind of going through, looking at the structure, but I will actually only half summon it. So it just looks like the exoskeleton, like the where the rest of the plates would snap in and attach themselves, and just try and get an idea of like how close could I get with what I see.
Okay. Tinman and Valen, you enter or approach the shop at exactly this moment. You see Niko sort of turn into two. What are you doing as you enter?
Clearly seeing Nico's just hell bent on his mission. I'm gonna look for old Xerixian weaponry or armor. I'm gonna try to start piecing together some of my old armor I deployed with and some of the weapons. So just keeping my eye out and looking to see if there's anything available.
Sure. Go ahead and make you'll make an investigation check as well. And Tinman?
Tinman kind of comes in, gets a look for the place, kind of trying to get a beat on what kind of place this is. More importantly, see past the mess and get a beat on what kind of people the Rowdies are. This is known as a bit of a serious place with some serious issues, so he's trying to get a feel for what kind of folk are we dealing with.
Make a perception check for me. I guess that would be investigation, but I want to see your perception check.
Ooh.
I should warn you,
Me
I'm good
too.
at those.
Are you entertained, DM?
So let's go ahead and work in reverse order here.
Yes.
Tinman, as you enter sort of just ahead of Valen, the first thing that catches your eye is in one of the display cases. There's no glass over it. It's an open display, a pair of metal rods sort of holding up a rifle.
A rifle.
The
you
rifle, yes. The rifle looks to be of an old type with the wooden stock and the, I forget what it's called, but the thing that you hold on the front. And it looks like just sort of a typical run-of-the-mill rifle. Except you notice that where there would be a cartridge for some sort of bullet, it is just some sort of a... I'm trying to find my words here. I got it written here. A contact, sort of a metal contact. It shimmers with almost a crystalline, it's only the size of a thumb, but it shimmers with a gray crystalline effect to it. You notice a little plaque underneath it that says laser pointer rifle.
Watch out, cats.
Aside from
Tin Man, very much being a cat, was looking around, was trying to get a beat on just who these rowdy boys were. What can I take a feel from the mess that I'm seeing? Ooh, gun. And he's just gonna kind of slowly waft off to the side.
Aside from that, it seems that the way things are organized, the types of metals, even the kind of energy some of them give off, whoever they are, they seem maybe not in a orthodox way, but capable junkers. The things that zap out electricity are not placed near things that leak oil or water, for that matter. They seems to be intelligently laid out, if a bit of a mess. Valen, as you enter Tinman just ahead of you, you look around, and really the first things and only things that stand out to you are the things that are meant to stand out to you, the display cases and the mess. One of the display cases, like I mentioned before, has a cape that is sort of hanging up and gently and perpetually billowing. Another one has a single dowel of wood stuck sort of in propping up a little foot-long silver bar.
Well. What do we have here? And I'll like kind of approach the silver bar as like not seductively, but like
How you doing?
I've been looking for you, and kind of like run my fingers over the top and look back at the rowdy boys and see if any of them
They're not there. You don't see anybody.
And I'll run my fingers on top of it and try to move it.
It moves. Except for it moves directly towards you and will not turn.
Interesting. And I'll go ahead and just...
There is a button on the end.
And I'll hit the button like you're starting a flare.
And it releases from its position, and you can move it around again.
Oh. Well, boys, I think we found a nice little toy here. And then I'll set it back down on the display case and just keep looking at it.
Niko.
Yes.
You look around and you try to find anything, sort of figure out the organization, and sort of glean anything from, this shop, as it were, very similar to yours, see if there's any intention behind it. You're focused on determining the piles as they were and what they might fall under, before a door in the back slams open and two absolutely sobbing, laughing figures fall in.
They didn't even know that Cesium blew up.
Hi.
The two of them are about waist-high height goblins. One of them has a more pale green, while the other one's a more vibrant green. The taller of the two has a shock of black hair cut into a mohawk, while the other one just has a mop of dark brown hair. The one with the dark brown hair looks up.
Oh, Yordi, we got customers. You're right. That doesn't happen very often. Yeah,
You guys have some of the coolest stuff. What is that?
Really?
And he just points. He points to like the odd metals that he don't know. Tell me what are the properties? Tensile strength.
The brown-haired one elbows his brother.
See, sometimes we do get fun people.
And he ambles over and starts chatting with you. The other brother looks at Valen, who's very intently looking at the rod.
It's broken, you know. They all are.
You have more than one?
He points to the displays.
Those are broken. They still kind of work, which is why they're up there.
How much for
But I'll show you. We'll get to price in a minute. I don't know if you even want these yet. He
walks up and lifts the rifle off of the display. Now watch this. He turns and he spits on the contact, and the rifle itself seems to glow for a moment, and he aims and pulls the trigger, and some sort of projectile fires at the far end and splashes against the wall.
Yeah, that's quite broken, I'd say so. But what about this over here? And I like do the Vienna White like reveal to the rod.
Yes, the movable rod.
I thought it was a little broken also.
Yeah, check this out. He jumps up to grab it. He pulls it down. Oh, somebody already hit the button. Is that you?
No, someone was in here right before I got here and hit it. I saw him. He got out right before you got here.
I want you to make a deception check.
No, it was the other guy.
The dice are hot for me tonight.
Huh. Well, yeah, I'll have to check into it. We don't get a whole lot of people around here. Thanks for your honesty.
Yeah, that's why I was surprised.
But anyway, check this out. He hits the button and he just sort of moves it around on a horizontal axis. No up, no down, just around.
Yeah, that's not ideal of what I've heard other immovable rods are like, but also not.
It's a half movable rod.
It's not pointless. I would say maybe a third movable rod.
It's a movable rod.
It's a
Y-axis movable rod.
Wait. Check this out. He turns it upwards, hits the button again, up and down now.
Well, okay. It's like a beta for version of the movable rod.
Yeah, like they hadn't quite figured it out.
And what would you charge for such a little relic here?
What would you pay?
Access movable rod.
Oh.
I said it's the movable rod. Don't do any of the naming thing here. You're not good at it. It's what we do. Like over here, the Cape of Crop Dusting.
I thought I smelled that thing. That is disgusting.
Oh, no. It's broken. Watch. He jumps up, he grabs it, pulls it down, fastens it around him. It's literally twice his height, so it hangs on the ground, but it billows. You don't smell anything. But then he's like, just a moment. One little thing I want to tell you. Don't know if you're aware of this, but prestidigitation can be used to gaslight your friends into think they got halitosis. And he lifts a leg and he lets a ripping fart out.
Oh my.
The billow or the cape doesn't move. It continues to billow as normal. No response. He's like, the thing billows like it's being hit by wind, but it doesn't blow the fart away. It's a broken Cape of Crop Dusting.
Do you guys have...
And I want you to make a Constitution save.
I'll just like...
Oh, jeez. That...
Do you guys have anything that's
You hold
not
yourself well.
broken?
This is a salvage shop. Everything here is broken, my friend.
That's a good point. Do you have any Xerxian Navy equipment or items?
You're starting to sound like the guy next door. But yeah, we got something like it. The guy says he knows something about the Xerxian, so he totters over, finds a cabinet. You hear the sound of clanging metal and things shifting around, falling. Ah, dang it! I knew I was going to take care of that later. And he comes back. I got this little thing, and it's a dagger. It's a silver dagger, seemingly made from an entirely one piece of metal. But what stands out to you, aside from being very simple, is that there is a symbol on the hilt. It is a white circle and a black circle, sort of like a Venn diagram. Except the black circle is over the white circle, so it sort of covers it somewhat.
And what are you looking for this piece here?
If I'm honest, I traded it for a piece of metal that the guy thought was part of the silver liner. So I don't know if it's good enough for a piece of celebrities, then I don't know, maybe a piece of couple gold.
Gold, you say?
Yeah, gold.
You're in luck.
You got a problem with gold?
Well, I'm surprised you want it. That's fine.
Tinman's gonna put his hand up. Whoa. I thought gold didn't really get much use out here in the sticks.
You a knock?
And I'll look at him like, Timothy, are you a knock?
Knock.
Timothy. They give you goofy he's just doing his job. He's one of those protocol bots. We got a half dozen here that don't have heads, a face, a feet, or whatever. Anyway, gold.
I
Yay,
think I
nay.
could throw a few pieces of gold your way. But you didn't get it from me.
Never do.
That's right. And I'll slide him the few pieces of gold I have. I do keep a few on me, but it's not much since it's like never used.
He looks at the gold. He lifts it up. He taps it on a piece of metal. Yeah, it looks real enough to me. Tucks it in a pocket. Anyway, well, your little metal friend there seems pretty interested in the gun.
Yeah, he sure does.
Just
I haven't seen him
eyeing
like this in
Valen.
some time here. Hey, Tinny, you okay?
Why, yes, as a matter of fact, I am. I was just thinking, he kind of taps his own rifle. In order to better protect you, having additional parts for customization could be valuable for us. And also see if you can get him to throw in a couple spare arms. He like clicks his shoulder.
I was thinking for those gold pieces, as they're so hard to come by, maybe a few arms for my boy here.
Like autonomobs?
Preferably left. Click, 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 click.
A left autonome arm would be great, but if you have really any arm that we could make it work too, preferably be something like big and strong looking, and like one solid.
Claw. With claws.
One beefy arm.
One beefy arm for my boy over here.
You know,
Oh, no,
Let me-
laser. He goes, lasers. It's got to have a laser on it, Valen. If he's going to get an arm, it's got to be a laser arm.
If we could just get one super buff arm for my young.
Tinman's just sitting here like, heads below them. Laser, buff arm.
a buff laser arm.
With claws. Yes.
With claws. I'll see what I can find in the back. No promises, of course. I know one time.
Whoa, wait. There's more in the back?
Yeah, we got an entire junkyard out there.
If Niko just develops eye sockets that get really, really large and then disappear.
Oh, that's
It's
so
too much.
creepy.
It's too much junk for, well, just this one little trunk here. Anyway.
You do
So,
have a lot of junk in your trunk, I must say.
Watch your mouth.
Watch your mouth.
I don't have one.
Niko, I apologize for that.
I'm just joshing you. Don't worry about it.
I do believe my plasmodian friend here is looking for some type of prosthetic leg too.
And the goblin that Niko's with looks over. We're already working on it. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, that's the problem. I am worrying about it. But yeah, all right.
My brother's got him taken care of. Is either the two of you looking for anything else?
Oh, you said there's Xerixian next door? You know his name?
Just a guy that said the word a couple times.
You got his name?
Yeah, give me a second. I think it was something like Lyridon.
Viridin, eh?
Yeah.
You don't get much.
And you
Lyridon,
Xerixian's
you
out
mentioned you mentioned he was interested in a scrap he thought belonged to the Silver Liner.
oh yeah, dude's a super fan. He's the biggest fan of the Silver Line he ever did see. He collects the stuff. He's even got the dove.
Interesting.
He says it's a replica, but I'm not convinced.
Well, Niko, why don't you go ahead and finish up here?
Bye bye.
I
Like,
think-
just cuts you off before you even finishes and goes.
And I'll look at Tinman. I think maybe we should go say hi to our Xerixian friend.
Sounds like a plan for me. Niko, negotiate something with these gentlemen here. Kind of points over to the gun. I'll be back for that later.
Let's see you soon. Tin Man, with your 22 perception, as you're on your way out, you pick up a voice. A distant voice. Help! Help! And then a high-low whistle.
That's gonna catch me. I'm gonna like kind of stop while following behind Valen. Which direction is it coming from?
It's coming from inside the store.
Actually, gonna pat Valen on the lower back there. You go on ahead there, buddy. I'll catch up in just a second. I need to double check one more thing before we go Niko loose in the place, all right?
Yeah, if you think so, buddy. And I'll keep moving on.
And are the Rowdy boys still out? Are they still here in the main room here?
The two are over walking or speaking with Niko now, who seems to very much have their attention.
I'm going to see if I can peruse a little and then kind of let myself fall into the background, into the scraps and the crates, and see if I can disappear for a moment.
Sure, go ahead and make a stealth check at advantage, because they're distracted and they've already sort of written you off.
Oh, buddy. I'm good at those.
Mm-hmm. The moment you step back in, they don't even seem to have noticed that you walked back in. The sound seems to be coming from one of the piles where it seems to be a bunch of damaged or broken devices. You see small wires, copper here and there, and just under the surface, you hear what sounds like another help! Help!
I'm going to go ahead and investigate.
As you go to investigate, you shove aside, or how are you going about investigating, I should say?
Again, I'm trying to be sneaky here. Make my way through, using my short stature, minimize unnecessary contact, and when I think I found a spot that might need some digging, I'm going to slowly kind of start moving things left and right without making a whole bunch of noise if possible.
All right. You shove items aside and you do your best to be quiet, and you're pretty proud of how well you do. And you uncover what looks like a box with a circle on the front, and the sound seems to be coming out of the circle. It's a radio. And
Okay.
the radio continues broadcasting, but in spurts. As you listen, you hear, "This week on Silver Liners Line in the Sand." It breaks out, and you hear, "Red Meta's back at it again. He wants to blow up the orphanage this time." It cuts out again, and it comes back. "But this week, he has a friend. the Tin Traveler. And it cuts back to music as the episode starts to drum up.
So sort of playing this episode on repeat.
Mm-hmm. I think that's a great time for us to take a break.
Yeah.
Oh, oh yes. All right, guys. Sorry, we've got a little bit of technical difficulties there, but we're going to be right back here shortly as we get to the final part of this episode. And it's going, I wouldn't say swimmingly for Valen, because I have a mask on and I'm doing hand and arm signals. However, it's going as good as I could expect. It's a new chapter. I'm loving it. It's fun. I want to say thank you to everyone who showed up tonight. It's all possible because you guys showed up on the stream tonight, the stream yesterday, in our Discord, on our Instagram, on our YouTube, every time. I love it. Thank you so much. Keep coming back. We'll keep growing, making more content for you guys. We got a lot of great stuff playing for you in 2026. And I am super excited to bring it to you guys. We got a playthrough of the Cosmere, which Mark's going to DM. I know. How could he DM another game for us? But he's going to. And it's a whole new game campaign in the Cosmere. So if you haven't read the Mistborn series, that's where you're going to want to start, because that's where we're starting. So we got that coming up, and we got Table of Tales. I've been talking about it forever, but if you're in our Discord, you can partake in our first viewing and before we take it to YouTube for some feedback. So stick around and hang out. We got a lot of good times coming around. Hey, we're going to be back here shortly, but before we get to that, I want to do a big shout out to Mythical Meats. They hooked me up with some snacks for tonight. I got a minute before break's over, and I haven't gone to the bathroom. I got to get out of here real quick. We'll be right back.
All right. So before he was so rudely interrupted by his DM calling for a break, Tin Man had just found a radio that was broadcasting an old episode of something called Silver Liners Line in the Sand. What would you like to do, Mr. Tin Man?
Having uncovered it, obviously now it's a little more obvious that it's being heard. I'm going to go ahead and stash it away, muffle it, cover it. Does that have a way I can turn the sound off for now?
You notice that there's a button on the front. Would you like to try it?
Yeah. Whether it's a recording or it's tuned into some frequency, I want to hold it for investigation later. I'm going to go ahead and turn it off for now, stash it away, make my way out.
All right. You do turn it off, and it occurs to you that this is technically thieving. But you are who you are.
Circumstances.
Dang.
Circumstances are circumstances.
So, Jade, back at the Elatern, Bozwell eventually calls for you in the captain's quarters.
Jade will go to
Jade,
orders. Yeah.
if you're ready, I could use you right now.
Of course, Boswell. How can I assist you?
We have 3 individuals here that seem interested in joining the crew. While I go through the rest of them, I thought that perhaps you could interview them. I have some basic information on them and can brief you as we go. Do you have a moment to sit with them?
Of course.
Delightful. If you follow me, we're in the captain's quarters. I've already got one of them set up.
What positions would they be filling?
I believe they'd like to tell you themselves, but we have one that seems to be interested in carpentry, another that would like to offer their cooking services, the last one, just a shipment.
Understood. Didn't realize we needed people. What about General Zaw? Was he made aware of this?
Czar is helping Malik organize the individuals who are not staying behind.
Of course. Alrighty. Just making sure everyone's present.
Of course. He leads you to the captain's quarters. The room is decently well lit. There's a lantern in each end, so it's a little more roomy than the last time you saw it, what with a flipped and damaged table. A large individual is sitting very demurely in a chair that is very, very much too small for them. In fact, they dwarf the table in front of them. On the other side is an empty chair, where it almost looks as though they're sitting at a tea table, like for children. A large shock of brown-red hair sort of shifts on the top of their head, and a flat face turns to look over their shoulder. Ah, hello. You must be Jade. Oh, I'm sorry, he doesn't call you Jade. I had a
Find your notes.
nom de guerre. I had a nom de guerre for you, but I forgot it. I thought I wrote it down, but I don't. Ah, you must be part of the crew. What can I refer to you as?
They call me Miss Fox.
Of
And
course, Miss Fox.
your name is?
I am Landor. You could tell that he is a Furbolg, or Firbolg. He's wearing very simple clothes. He's got, it looks a little dirty, but as for the fact that he's been stuffed in with other people for 3 days, that's to be expected. What stands out, however, is that from about mid-bicep down to his wrist is an odd leather glove-like contraption. It's just a leather glove, but it's got slots on the side, like a bandolier. And each one of them has a large vial in it. Bozwell elbows you in the knee, just gently. This is the chef. If you'd like to have a seat and speak with him. Or do as you please. I don't know how you do interrogations.
I think I'll stand. Do you feel comfortable sitting in that chair?
Oh, it's about as comfortable as any normal person-sized chair. It is okay.
Understood. Surely you don't mind me standing.
Of course not. We're about eye level now.
I figured as much. So, where did you hear about this listing?
There was no listing. Boswell came down to ask if anybody wanted to join the crew, if nobody had anywhere to go and would like fair pay.
Fair pay.
Yes,
Interesting.
we have to pay them. So
Of
we're on
course.
pirates.
True enough.
Actually, I hear pirates pay very well.
You hear from under decks, I resent that. It's
Oh,
Zark.
beans.
Aw, beans.
Well, as you can see, we have a bit of a casual way of going about things.
Yes, it is quite delightful. If I'm honest, I did notice that your autognome and the GIF, I believe it was the Cannon Master, had some trouble appeasing that cloud dog, and I thought I could offer my services. He pulls out one of the vials on his arm and sort of holds it up. Spices. I patented this glove. It's my spice rack.
No, it's canon. He can't say patented.
I patented. I took claim of it legally.
Trademark.
Interesting. Well, you seem to show some sort of novelty and intrigue
you.
with that. Now, I do have to ask, what is your experience with being a chef?
Ah, I'm glad you asked. Well, I am actually from the College of Culinary Pursuits and Alchemical Medicine.
Can I roll a history check?
Of course.
Can I also roll insight to tell if he's making this up?
Absolutely.
Mark, what was the name of the school again?
The College of Culinary Pursuits and Alchemical Medicine. see Pam, if you will.
See Pam?
I don't think I will.
See Pam. See Pam. The
7 insight, 12 for history.
On the 12 for history, the College of Culinary Pursuits and Alchemical Medicines is something you've heard of for a distance, mainly because you know for a fact that Magdalena has her fingers there. It is sort of where she kind of sourced a lot of her knowledge over the past couple hundred years in regards to things that you would be well versed of. That said, aside from knowing that it's vaguely related to Magdalena, you know nothing else about it. As for your 17 insight, Landor seems entirely honest. In fact, almost to a fault. You can see there's a gentle blush on his cheeks, and he kind of avoids eye contact. He almost seems a little shy.
I'd be a chef. What does it do for you? Is it just something you picked up when you were younger, or I don't know, just what keeps you from being in some other job?
Well, baking was too complicated. And cooking is more of a kind of just a vibe. I enjoy it because it's meditative. And people smile afterwards. At least if it's good. Not many people smiled at first.
Now, I will have to ask if you could prepare something for me.
Of course.
Boswell, would you be interested in nibbling?
I do fish, thank you.
Maybe we have something pescatarian. Can you handle fish?
Of course. That may... I do have one thing that might stand out. Are any of you allergic to cats?
I'd have to ask why you offer that.
I understand. He reaches down to a pocket on his large shorts, and he fishes out a fuzzy ball that he sets very gently and nimbly on the desk. A calico cat unfurls and stretches out, does its yawn. This is Regano, short for oregano. He is my friend. He helps me cook and pick out ingredients.
Oh, okay.
Not the
Yeah.
direction we were thinking. Clearly.
You had me tossed there. Good job. I thought we were going to be eating cats for a few episodes here.
I figured
Well
he
done.
had something on.
Well done.
I
Fair,
caught you.
probably have Scarrock.
Cats are a delicacy in space? Question mark.
No dogs in space.
Perhaps. You met one.
Was her name Leica? Sorry, too soon.
No, it was Yukon. But yeah.
Too soon.
Oh, dude. Anyway. Regano is my familiar.
You're familiar. Do you... I can't help but ask, but how are you in a combat situation? Since you mentioned familiars, I'm curious if you do some sort of magic.
He reaches down to the other side, and you hear metal scraping on cloth as he pulls out a large cast iron pan that you could probably lay in and just sort of have your upper body and legs hanging out of. I am quite adept. And he sort of swings the pan really quick, just sort of mimicking like swinging an axe. I am capable. I believe they are called clerics. I am a cleric of the hearth.
Cleric of the Hearth. Oh, yes. I haven't met one of you in quite a long time.
You've met others. We hail from a humble wood.
One more time. I'm
Another
sorry.
thing.
We hail from a humbly wood. I was taught by a Jabin.
Oh my gosh.
Can I roll history
Absolutely.
or nature? How do I? Just curious.
History.
Or meta-contextual knowledge.
Yeah.
Yeah. I rolled a 6. Jade's confused. Not confused, but like.
Ephemera
Rightfully
nat one.
so.
Even I don't know what he's talking about. No tree that I've ever heard of. It's a very small place. It's a different plane, but it's near Toriel.
Interesting.
I can go work on something now if you would like.
I do have to say one more thing. How are you with limited supplies? I'm not sure what's down there. I could only imagine what is. Boswell, do you know?
Yes, Zar was saying that things have gotten slim over the last 3 days. Something about 300 people and about a month's worth of supplies. I'm sure that we could find something. Oh, never mind. There was the time that we used all those supplies to feed the dog.
How
I
about
can.
this?
Yes.
Boswell, you're familiar with this area. Is there a market around?
I'm sure that there is some place that we can procure some simple ingredients, yes. Simple would be great. I can work with almost anything, but simple is better.
Boswell, would you be so kind as to lend the gentleman some gold? Go get some ingredients and make us the best thing you can get within an hour, I would say, of scavenging. Or,
Our
going to the market.
Pescatarian. Understood. Okay.
I should reiterate, I'm giving you an hour to locate your items and then.
Much better.
Yes.
You notice as you mention gold, Boswell stiffens. No gold here. Only silver. But I understand your meaning, lady.
Correct.
He leans over to Landor. They're from Toriel. They use gold there. Landor, oh, you're from Toriel. We have much to talk about. And both him and Boswell walk out.
Understood.
Say again, sorry.
Understood.
A tentative moment later, the door creaks open to the captain's quarters, and you notice a plasmoid sort of slink in. They, unlike Niko, they are a rich brown with light brown bubbles inside, almost like a cola. And wrapped around him, made of his own matter, is a tool belt with hammer, chisel, anything that a carpenter might need. Well, hello there. I am Garrett Lister. Are you the crewman?
I'm one of the crew, correct. Miss Fox.
Delightful. Nice to meet you, Miss Fox. I am to understand that this ship here needs some help.
Yes, every now and then she gets a little bent out of shape, if you know what I mean. You mentioned
I haven't heard of wood that bends since I heard of the lumber orchards near Boral Gaunt. Any type of wood I can work with.
History check.
Go for it.
Really milking all the lore here today. 16.
The lumber orchards are relatively well known in the belt. Boral Gaunt, the individuals, the families of Boral Gaunt had started them. They quite literally grow stone trees. It's an entire orchard that they use in order to basically turn into charcoal, a very dense form of charcoal that they use to run their infernal engines, not engines specifically, but their wow, why am I blanking on words today?
Essentially,
They're forges.
trees right into bone, like dinosaur
Petrified
bone.
wood.
Petrified wood. Thank you.
Like,
Not
also
dinosaur
like, yeah,
bones.
petrified wood.
Thank you.
But as he notices you sort of trying to key in and think of where you've heard of the lumber orchard, oh, that's not even the most obscure one. Like, I know of the hardwoods from Timony, and even the softwoods from Valdendi. Oh, and I should tell you, there's also the ancient walking treants of Verda. Been looking for them for some time now.
So you have your way with wood.
You could say.
What would you take with this ship? As you can tell, there's foliage growing into it.
Oh, yes, she's a beautiful ship. I've always wanted to walk on a Tariant ship, let alone work on one. It would be a genuine honor.
What did you mention? I'm sorry. A what ship?
A Tariant ship. Living ships. They got a tree in the back, like this one.
Of course, I just haven't heard it mentioned that way.
Oh, of course. Understood. Yeah, I'm not from around here, I get it. Even the accent throws people off sometimes.
It's rather charming, I should say.
I'm glad to hear that. Thank you.
Would you perhaps take a stroll with me? Or actually, DM, this room, has it been cleaned since the mishap?
It has.
Or is it still... Okay, so it has been cleaned. Okay. What was his name?
This character's name is Garrett Linter.
It was Mr. Linter, correct?
Correct? The only one in the world. Well, the universe, I guess.
Walk with me, and she'll turn around and stroll around the ship.
Understood? He falls in next to you. His pseudopod sort of lace behind him as he leans forward in that old man stride. He walks with you. Tell me, have you ever heard of the Society of Ancient Flora? They're the ones that turned me onto the Treants of Arda.
History check.
Let them roll.
Oh.
It does not sound
Like,
familiar.
I don't know if I've heard of them, but I really hope I have.
You're right.
It doesn't sound familiar, but it very much falls in line with something you might have picked up from your recent incursion finding the seed. It sort of seems like someone who might be involved in something like that. But there's also the Recollectionists, the Arboreal Fan Club. I made it myself. I'm the founder. But you can ask any one of them, and they know me.
The Arboreal Fan Club.
A real
just say
fan
that
of the
I'm-
Arbor.
Can I just say that I'm imagining, a goopy slime man, but he's got like a trucker's hat on and a tool belt that he's keeping hiked way too high up as he walks.
And he's got a sort of in the top of his head is just smooth, but he's sort of got the George Costanza going.
But it's bubbly like flubber.
Yep, exactly. So where are we going, Miss Fox?
We're going onto the main deck.
Oh, delightful. I was hoping for a tour.
Well, you will get a tour. I just had a couple questions, really. DM, does the ship show signs of wear from that clown attack?
There still does seem to be some damage, though it does seem like it's mostly patched up by now, both through your efforts and through the additional rain that was provided from Yukon. So while there does seem to be some small damage, you'd either have to have a trained eye or know where the damage was.
What's his name again?
Garrett. Linter, like splinter.
Thank you. Linter. Oh, Linter like Splinter. How clever. Mr. Linter,
Yes?
what can you see is wrong with this bed deck? And she'll have her hands behind her back, standing at attention, back straight and just observant. To add insult to injury, she's wearing spectacles. Where'd she get them? Who knows?
He glances around. You see a pseudopod, or the head, where the pseudopod that is his head, spin around, look around. Well, first of all, I see the railings damaged there and there. Looks like the thing was damn near twisted in part 2. More twisted than my knickers. Aside from that, it looks like there was some impact around the side here. And he points at where the clown punched the deck there. He leans down, runs a pseudopod along the wood. There's even a little blood left. You didn't clean it up that well. That said, I do see that there are seeding pods along the side there.
What color is the blood, DM?
Blue. Or not. Blue, sorry. I don't know why I said blue. It's green. It's where you got hit.
Jade
Just
feels
matter-of-factly blue.
it turns blue,
Yeah.
Jade feels a slight flinch when he mentions the color is green.
Oh, he doesn't mention it. I said that. He doesn't mention a color. He just says it's blood.
Right. About how long would it take for someone of your caliber to repair this ship? I mean, this area, the deck, as you would say.
He gets out a small hammer and starts tapping on the wood here and there. And by the sound of it, it's already fixing itself. And that's the beautiful thing about the ships like these. I get the feeling that if you were to hire me on, I'd be for emergencies and information.
True enough. The ship has an ability to repair itself, which is why I'm curious about your experience with these ships. What can a carpenter...
Yes, I understand.
Well, tell
Well,
me.
if I may make a case for myself, I would like to note that when two spelljammers or two vessels of adequate size, whichever is the most well in repair when they connect, assuming they are ramming, whichever is the most in repair tends to assert its gravitational dominance over the other. So, for emergency purposes, I can make sure that the ship's proverbial health points stay high.
And how long have you been a carpenter, if I may ask?
Oh, probably about 250 years.
250 years. How many
Yes.
ships?
How many ships? Oh,
How many ships?
sorry, say that one more time.
How many ships have you served on?
Oh, most of my work was done in the colleges and teaching people and all that good stuff. But ships, probably maybe 7 or 8.
Jade rolled a 21 for insight. Is he telling the truth or is he being silly?
You get the feeling that he either A, genuinely doesn't remember, or 7 or 8's just a vague guess.
How
He
about
doesn't
his,
seem to know either.
his
The man
history?
is just himself silly.
But the 250 years of carpentry experience, that true or not?
Yes, that seems to be something. He rattled that off the top of his head like he was remembering his own birthday,
Okay.
which admittedly was more than 250 years ago.
You mentioned Jade suddenly having spectacles on as she
Mhm.
quizzes him here, and letting my nerd flag fly for a minute. All I could think of is the character Quistis from Final Fantasy VIII. Sometimes she has the glasses on and she's very teacherly, and sometimes she doesn't.
Love Questus.
How are you in a
Did you have
combat?
another question?
Yes.
How am I in combat? Well,
combat.
ideally, I'm. My apologies, Lady Fox. I don't mean to speak over you. I'm just excited.
Carry on.
As for combat, typically I'll be below decks, keeping things running, making sure the hull stays intact, and making whatever repairs I need. As for hand-to-hand, well, the only weapons I've got on me are these 2 rousing fists and a hammer on my belt.
No magic ability, healing ability, anything like that?
Well, back in the day, my friends used to call my hands fire and ball for the way they'd be singed when I struck him. But aside from that, he pulls a carpenter's pen out of his goopy pouch and he snaps it in half. He sets it in one pseudopod and places the other pseudopod over it, and when he pulls it away, it is whole. I do know the mending spell. I know enough for that.
To be honest, I'd rather not have staff actively in combat, but if something were to occur, I'd hope that you'd be able to hold your own. Now, of course, I would be more than happy to stand in front of you should any kind of harm come towards you. So you can rest assured of that. Have a lot of people protecting you should anything like that occur. I'd risk my life for it, actually.
I consider myself reassured.
Sure. If I were to take you on, could you walk with me one more time? I have something to discuss with you inside.
Of course. He grabs a pair of suspenders you didn't realize he had on. They're just made of his own material, and he follows after you.
I'd like to know an ETA if we were to have this. So the issue that we're having is there's only one captain's quarters. There's no other rooms. If you were to be taken on, how long would it take for you to give every individual of the crew their own separate quarters?
You see, it doesn't take a carpenter to tell you that. It just takes someone with ice. Now that you got the 300 souls out of here, there's plenty of rooms.
Yeah, there's rooms. I'm so used to like being in a crow's nest.
There's the typical crew rooms below deck, though most of them, save for the captain and the bosun, are all shared rooms, so 3 to 4 people per room.
Nothing that a
Exemplary.
few curtains and partitions wouldn't fix.
Garrett, if I may, I imagine you and I are going to be, if I were to take you on, though I will have to discuss it with some of my associates, but I believe there's a good chance. You and I would be working a lot together. I have a bit of a connection with the ship, with the foliage, and Jade will kind of move her hand over a railing and, I don't know, the branch will respond to her.
The leaves reach up as if trying to get in contact with you.
As you can see.
I see that. Wow, that's an incredible gift, Miss Fox. I mean, yeah, of course, if you take me on, I treat her good. Any vessel is worth her salt to stay in the sea.
Well, it's definitely a yes for me, but of course I have to
Run it up the chain. I understand.
Exactly. So I will say yes to that. Is there any questions you had for me? Please be very fluent with them, of course.
Yes. Was curious. How did you come across a fine vessel like this? It's not every day you see a living treant ship.
A very good friend of mine.
Connections.
Yes. I'd say a gift.
Well, whoever got you this gift seems to know you awful well, because you seem attuned to it like nobody's business.
I noticed that.
Say sorry.
I noticed that.
It's quite evident.
Funny when I came on board, it's like this ship was calling to me. But anyways.
He leans over and sort of leans his head against the grain of the railing and runs a pseudopod up and down it, looking at the grain. Well, it seems that like a violin's own voice, she's got one of her own. Just got to know how to play her.
I absolutely agree.
But I will be out of your hair, missus, and I believe that there was one other person behind me down by the captain's quarters waiting to talk with one of you. Will I hear from you soon, perhaps?
You are more than welcome to, stay up on the ship if you'd like. I imagine my associate Bozwell will be back pretty soon. So, up to you. Or I could fetch for you, however you prefer. I don't want to take your time.
Hey, I'll just take a spot downstairs and, kick my legs up, metaphorically speaking. He just pats the pseudopods that are his legs, and they wobble a little. But I'll stay out of your hair until I hear more. I won't go too far. Not really far to go.
If I could buy you lunch, she'll offer him 7 silver. By all means.
Well, that's awful kind of you. From what I heard, sounded like the person before me was going to be making lunch. But I won't turn down a tip. Honest to a fault, me.
Just in case what he makes may not be what you're interested in, or if he's actually not a good cook. You know how it is.
Met my fair share of those, let me tell you what.
Being safe, of course. So, I'd just rather not have someone waiting on me, is what I'd say. Enjoy your time.
I understand. Thank you very much. It's very kind of you, miss. And see you soon. And he ambles off over the off the ship and starts heading down the stairs. From the stairway down to the captain's deck, standing next to it is a slight individual that has somewhat simian features and long webbing that comes down from their elbow and attaches to their waist. She seems to be some sort of sailor, judging by her outfit, the loose-fitting white blouse and the airy trousers and the bandana she's wearing over her dark hair. I believe you were talking to me next. That's not the right voice, but...
Yes, thank you. I appreciate your patience. I do apologize if I've kept you waiting for too long. My name is Miss Fox, and you all?
The name. Let me find my words. Griswold Tabbert. The friends call me Walt.
Would you prefer I call you Walt or Miss Tabbert?
For now, we will stay at Tabbert.
Tabbert, yes. What were they auditioning for?
This individual was the individual that Bozwell mentioned to you was just another ship hand.
I understand you're auditioning to be an extra ship hand.
Not auditioning.
What is it?
I am here to help if you need me.
And what brought you onto that? Why choose this ship?
Well, in case you weren't aware, we spent perhaps just under a week leaving my last home. There's little to understand that there might be left there, but I figured I could find perhaps a place here until I have a chance to go back.
Understood. And again, we apologize for that, but happy to see
what you
you.
had to.
Happy to see you safe and sound, of course, given the circumstances.
I appreciate that.
I appreciate you as well.
It came to my attention. I was speaking to the bosun, the General Tsar, as he calls himself, and he mentioned that while there are many of you, the group of you typically leaves the ship when things are hectic or important. So you need ship hands, and I am a very skilled one at that.
Your experience? How long have you been around ships?
I've been working on ships for about 20 years.
Rolling insight for that?
Mm-hmm.
17.
You get that the way she says she's worked on a ship, she's referring to a specific ship, and she's a little bitter about it.
Which ship would that be, if I may ask?
Well, I ended up on this ship because I was supposed to be on a ship called the Galfor Act. The Galfor Act is one of the naval ships around the Rock of Burrow. I was to be a guard for them.
Jade nods because she doesn't know. Rolled a 1. You see?
You rolled 17 on your insight.
Yeah, but I rolled for the history of what ship she was talking about.
Oh, the Galfer Act, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, she
Like,
explains it. It was one of the guard ships in the Rock of Braun Navy.
Were you caught up in what occurred on that ship?
I was in the press of the
During the
bodies.
event. Yeah.
I was in the press of the bodies and ended up on this ship instead of my own.
I apologize about that.
Again, stop apologizing. It was not your fault.
Of course.
Life is as it is, and we make the best of it. So I am making the best of it and asking if I may stay aboard your ship, offer my expertise, and should the opportunity arise, I find my own ship and return home.
I see nothing wrong with that, of course. And of course, you're welcome to stay, should we take you on. In a combat situation, how do you fare?
She reaches back as if to scratch the back of her neck, and you see her arm go rigid and the muscles tense as she draws a blade from inside the back of her shirt. You see as it actually transforms as part of her tattoo, lifts, and then is pulled free as the saber.
Yo,
I always have a blade on me.
Cool.
I always have a blade on me.
Old Arcana, natural 20 for 27. What is that tattoo?
Magical tattoos.
What is that?
A magical tattoo is something that, under most circumstances, can typically hold a spell, but there are some magical practitioners that can hide material items in their tattoos and call upon them as they seek.
Jade really wants a tattoo all of a sudden. Doesn't show that, stays stone-faced.
Make a performance check for me.
5.
I typically
It's
get that
kinda obvious.
reaction. I typically get that reaction, and I understand that it can be off-putting to know that someone near you may always have a blade at the ready. But I assure you, I only use them for those who board the ship I am on without permission.
My dear, we have a lot more in common than you could possibly imagine. Well done. I'm all about hiding weapons in plain sight. I don't know if you've, seen us fighting off those creatures that were on the ship, but
See,
among friends.
I see the daggers you are holding right now. The two around your waist, the one in your boot, and the one strapped to your thigh.
I hold more than daggers, but enough about me. And thank you
I hold
for
more
that.
than sabers.
Yes. Well, I like that. Do you fancy sparring?
Perhaps when I have some drink in me and I'm feeling a little looser. Right now I am stiff from the confinement.
Of course. I don't know, something about our crew gets a little rowdy every now and then. Maybe a spirited sparring, a friendly battle would be fun. Just between friends, of course. Keep us sharp.
Of course. Must be sharp. It's about now you hear the sounds of flapping flippers and heavy thudding steps as Bozwell and Landor return. Bozwell is talking animatedly about some account while Landor is walking behind him with a large crate of vegetables and other packaged foods. He looks to the side of the crate. Oh, hello there, Miss Fox. Where is your kitchen? Oh, I remember. Never mind, thank you. And he continues walking past and downstairs.
Well, it seems my friend here is going to. My lips, I don't know. Excuse me. Well,
lips don't
that
work.
seems Think exactly. Well, it seems that we're about to start cooking. You're welcome to stay aboard. I, of course, going to give you a full yes, but I will discuss with my associate. You know, he'll need to give the final yes, of course, but you've got a yes from me.
Understandable. You wouldn't happen to have met someone with or know somebody with a similar accent to me, as I heard a voice very similar. Someone from my homeland, perhaps.
Why do you ask, if I may?
It is not a common accent. You learn to pick it out.
Oh, yes, of course, but that said individual is a very, very close friend of mine. And of course, I want to warrant her safety. So, why do you ask?
Because I would like to reconnect and understand what happened from the places I am from. You may not understand it, and I don't mean to make assumptions, as you seem a very well-traveled lady. However, I am from Gift Space. Hadozi may I be. I am Gif in heart.
Yes, I do know of someone, Madame Arnott. Arnaud. Arnott?
Arno. You said she was your cannon master, correct?
Yes.
Thank you very much, my Lady Fox. I look forward to dinner.
Righto.
She turns and heads back. Actually, she heads up to the crow's nest, and you see her climbing with very incredible alacrity. She seems very well versed at traversing a ship like this. Bozwell steps up next to you. You almost look proud of what you've done.
My crow's nest. Jade looks a little sad for a minute. Honestly, Boswell, excellent choices here. I'm going to say yes to all three, but of course I want to try this gentleman's cooking. The carpenter that was brought on.
Ah, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Get up.
Incredible amounts of experience, and was very excited to be brought on alone. You're properly compensating them, is that correct?
Are you officially hiring me on as the ship's accountant?
Well, no one else is.
The answer to one is the answer to the other.
Yes.
Thank you. Then yes, they are being paid. I will speak with Czar about what we have in our coffers, and from there we will determine who gets what share. But I assure you they will be paid.
Understood. No questions at all. Just all great people.
I'm glad you like them.
Well, of course, we need to try the food. I'm hoping this gentleman is good.
Yes, he was saying some very interesting things. Like, he mentioned that there was a teal bugbear of sorts that gave him some tips.
She'd never met the bugbear, but
You never see teal bugbears. They're usually not furred. But he said what he saw. The fellow seemed like his bark was worse than his bite.
Jade will roll history.
Uh,
An 11.
a furred teal bugbear does not ring any bells.
Of course.
And she will never bring it up again.
Valen, Niko, and Tinman, you leave Rowdie's recycling, and
I'm still there. I have
Okay.
not left. I will not leave. Like
You're-
if
right,
if Valen
yes.
and Tinman leave, I'm staying there until my project is done. So
Correct. So, yes, Niko then. We'll take a moment here. Niko, Kaz, let me find his full name. I'm trying to be better about my notes. It's in here. Kazmar. Kazmar, the middle brother, the one with the brown hair, He speaks very animatedly and gets into the technical jargon and the nitty gritty with you. He seems, of the two of them, the more technically minded, as where Yordi, the older brother, the one with the darker hair, is a little more on the creative side. He seems to be more of the business side of things, sort of offering suggestions here and there as you and Kazmar work out the details. He moves to different parts of the store, to the shop. Yeah, you said something with hinges, right? Yeah, I think we got something over here. There was a couple of crab apparatuses that weren't working so well. We took them in, we paid for them, and they just stopped working. But anyway, there's a couple arms back here that maybe we could find something for you.
Let's do it. And
anything
like,
else you're looking for?
Wait. You said there was more out back, right? Like,
oh yeah, yeah. We got the whole junkyard out there. I mean, don't get me wrong. The powers that be here don't like it if we take out too much space. It looks a little bad, but you know.
Knowing this, it's like, go full into the details. I'm like, all right, here's what we need, and like, what was your name again?
Which one are you asking?
The one that the more technical one.
Oh, Kazmar. Kazmar Rowdie.
All right, you sir look quite good at putting things together
and taking them apart. That's my favorite part.
And Niko will start essentially showing him the lattice of where the device and how it would look, but out of runes. And it will be all the runes for like Longstrider, Expeditious Retreat, and essentially kind of crafting a skeletal frame of almost armor, but it's just the frame in magical runes. We need this shape. About yay big. What can you fit inside this? And it will look like that a helix, and kind of hold it in front of him as almost like a three-dimensional blueprint out of magical runes.
Seriously, that's sick. You got to teach me how to do that. Next to that, we got to use a paper and pencil around here. It's really inconvenient. But
I might have something like that, and like we'll pull out like my little holographic device I had in that we used, and just here you can have that.
For a second, I thought. He meant like, oh, I got something like that, like pen and paper, and he just slaps the messiest, grossest, slimiest handbook on the counter. Splat.
He holds up the projector. But how does it work? Oh, don't tell me I can take it apart and figure it out. Don't tell me. I want to know. I'm gonna figure it out. Anyway, he tucks it into a pocket. So, you know what cesium is?
No. Wait, do I know what cesium is?
Cesium is a common material. It's, if my memory serves, it's a metal that reacts very violently to oxygen.
Okay.
It sort of has a bronze or gold aesthetic to it.
Okay. Well, yeah, but we don't. That's not going to work for what we're thinking.
Oh no! I'm talking about a different project. You seem the knowledgeable type, and I figured I'd ask.
Yeah, it's metal, highly reactive. It does make big.
So, hear me out.
Okay.
What if we make an engine? When it explodes, it takes this piece of metal and pushes it down. It turns this rod that turns these wheels. Or you activate some sort of, I don't know, magical engine that shoots out propulsion. We call it a combustion engine. We're working on it. It's a prototype right now, but we're trying to make jammers that non-magic people can use.
That's actually not a bad idea. So how do you think? Like, almost completely forgetting his project. It's like, so what are we thinking? Design-wise, what we looking rounded, straight, and like, wait. Okay, leg, come on. Let's get back to what we were doing.
Yeah, if you're gonna be here for a few days, I'd love it if you came back and worked with us on it. You seem like a kind of person that knows their stuff. But the leg, yes. You hear a sort of squelch from behind as you hear Rowdie sort of fiddling with your armor. What's this made out of? Is this made out of you?
Weirdly, yes.
Oh, that's disgusting. I love it.
Yeah, but as you can see, it is like it's metal. And then I will
What do you mean?
like, and then as he's like looking at it, I will kind of constitute it or just like dissolve the outer shell out into dust and start retracting it back, and then stop it halfway and reform it. I don't know. I can't really explain. It just does that. I designed it. It works, and now I wanted to make cool armor, but you can't walk everywhere in armor. We needed somewhere easy to store it, so I thought, why not inside myself?
Now you're thinking. So, if we've got somebody that's got a messed up leg, chances are that leg is weak. We can't put something heavy on there. So it's got to be able to go away when they're not using it.
Mm-hmm.
You hear me?
So that's what. No, I'm following you. That's why if you can get me, we're going to need some physical parts. I can do the rest because, again, showing in the lattice work, there's a little bit of magic involved. But
he leans over to his brother. He said the M word.
Hey, it's pretty cool. I happen to do it. I don't know how, but let me tell you. Oh, don't get me wrong. I like I pull out and show him some of the sonic bombs. Like, look, I like the technical stuff too, but magic stuff's cool.
When you bring up magic, they seem incredibly nonplussed. But then you bring out the documents and not the documents, your sonic grenade. Okay, we could tell that you got the know-how. Come back tomorrow, or I guess they look outside later today, I guess. Just come back when you can, and we'll work something out. I got some ideas. I got this piece of paper that you gave me. I'll get the stuff together for you, okay?
All right, like slightly disappointed, like, look, there's not much I have to do.
Then come on.
Yeah,
you're a busy man.
Yeah, maybe. No, not really.
Then both Kazmar and Rowdie start pulling you back towards the junkyard. And I think that's where we'll call the session for the night.
Oh my gosh, this was such a fun episode. So many great scenes. Alex, Marina, Dayton, Mark, thank you so much for tuning in tonight. More importantly, all the viewers out there, this was the most watched live episode yet. So thank you so much for tuning in and enjoying what we've got going on here. Tune in all this week. Next Monday, we're going to be live for Behind the Scenes. But I'm going to be live playing games as I usually do. So tune in, say hi, and, let us know what's going on in your world. Mark, what do you got for us tonight, buddy? Great episode, by the way.
Thank you. Well, big thank you to everyone who's here, who showed up. We really do appreciate everyone who shows up to help us tell our silly stories. It's nice to have an audience and people that enjoy the same things we do. It's good to know that the world's a little bigger than we think it is. That said, don't forget to wash your dice. And until next time, we'll see you in the stars.